Got an awesome video for you guys today. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. It's actually kind of interesting. I've never seen Dr. Phil with this kind of attitude. And he recently had on RFK on his Dr. Phil show. And of course, there's a number of awesome clips. He also was on Bill Maher recently too. And you can't, I'm telling you, you're not going to believe this. You're going to be like, what? That's Dr. Phil saying that? There's no way that's him. And so, of course, he just completely tears, Bill Maher a new one. He also just completely goes in on it with RFK and talks about all the stuff going on. It's actually kind of hilarious. We're going to get into also a number of clips of RFK of recent, talking about nutrition, talking about actually a lot of stuff. That medical side as well. He talks about that. He gets into actually some other crazy stuff you're not going to believe. We're going to get into as well in this video. Check out this clip here. This is like I said, I had to watch this a couple times because I couldn't believe it was him. Actually, this clip is not even like, there's one it's just like, what? Check this out. It's pretty hilarious. This is actually kind of low key here, but then it gets more and more crazy as we get into this. Check this out.
I don't think Bill Maher saw that one coming.
What I think we disagree a lot on is that you think family and faith are a big fix to the problems we have. I mean, I don't have a family, and I definitely don't have faith. So I get it, definitely not part of the solution.
I don't think...
So you saw that. It was pretty low key. He said, you're definitely not part of the solution. He's like laughing when he said it, right? Like he's just completely... no respect whatsoever for Bill Maher. And you're going to see it gets way, way more ridiculous as we go forward. He says something I would never expect Dr. Phil to ever say in a couple of these clips. This one actually is not the worst one, but this one's pretty crazy too. Let's play this one really quick.
Well, no. That's... For the love of God, Bill, just give up. Your retarded little stance on everything. It's so tiresome. I'm a cool guy. Listen to me. Smoke pot. Suck off a guy.
Oh my goodness. Can you believe he actually said that to Bill Maher? I just started cracking up the first time I saw that. I'm still cracking up. It's like hilarious, man. I want to watch it like multiple times. But actually, that's not even the biggest one. He actually did even worse than that. Just totally dunking on Bill Maher.
Enough, Bill. Enough.
Enough, Bill. Enough, man. It just gets more crazy as you go farther into it. Like, that's not even the worst one. Okay, that one's pretty good, though. All right, that's pretty good. I have to hand it to him. That's pretty good. But this one right here, oh my goodness, this takes the cake.
Shut your mouth, Bill. Shut your mouth. I'm trying to tell you here that everybody knows what you're up to. Your job is to take clinically insane lefties and de-radicalize them to a degree. It's not working, obviously. I don't think you have an understanding of what you and your colleagues have created here. Let me put it to you this way. You've basically created an old Yeller situation. But rabies, Bill, is incurable. Now in the movie...
So old Yeller, of course, he had to put the dog down because it had rabies. And he's saying that those, of course, on the left, well, they pretty much have, rabies. So this is what he's saying. It's kind of funny, actually. And he says that Bill Maher's trying to, put some common sense back into these old Yellers, but it's just not taken. It's just not taken. And he goes on to say that he's going to open up a clinic for people in this old Yeller situation. All right. I think he says right here.
People. So I will be opening up a mental health ranch for the criminally insane.
Dude, it's so ridiculous. Hey, look at it. Look at Bill Maher's face. He's like, what? Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe, but like I used to watch Dr. Phil back in the old days, like a long time ago. Like, I don't know, man. It was like 20 years ago or more, 30 years ago. And he was so milquetoast and so nice and kind and like just never would say anything like this ever in the old days. So watching him say it now, it's like, what just happened to this dude? it's like he just completely changed overnight. And of course, he also interviewed RFK. And like I said, we're going to play some clips from that. But also, RFK has been getting into a lot of things. Actually, he's going viral right now. Like tons of posts about a number of things that he said. And we're going to play some of those in this video as well. Check this out. This, of course, has to do with the soda industry and the SNAP program about nutrition. Check this out.
And again, Secretary Rollins had the soda industry come and knock on her door very much, very loudly, and they said to her, well, the SNAP program is not supposed to be about nutrition. She pointed out to them that there is no nutrition in a soda. And they said, well, it's not supposed to be about nutrition. And she said to them, the name of the program is supplemental nutrition.
Oh my goodness, dude. Of course. So, like, it's supplemental nutrition assistance. And if soda has zero nutrition in it, why is it part of the program? It's not rocket science. Of course, oh, well, kids like drinking soda. And, you know, it's just kind of funny. I've been dealing with what to eat, how to be healthy, particularly of recent over the last year. And I've basically come to the conclusion that you can almost eat nothing that's in the store, that's in the restaurants. It's like getting that ridiculous now. You got seed oils everywhere. You got high fructose corn syrup in everything. It's like ridiculous. And even the diet sodas, they got, you know, aspartame and sucralose, which is not what I would call good for you either. And, you know, I actually had to take an allergy test because it was for many years. I was eating foods and I was like having joint pain and just weird stuff. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I finally realized I'm actually allergic to this stuff. Like, I just assumed it was like, I didn't know what it was. I just assumed there was something, I don't know. I assumed it was like the sodas and stuff. So I stopped drinking those. I stopped this, stopped that. But it wasn't that. I was actually allergic to these oils they use in everything. I'm like allergic to a bunch of stuff. And guess what? All the stuff I'm allergic to is the stuff RFK is trying to get rid of. Go figure. Isn't that kind of weird? So I kind of like what he's doing. I mean, they used to make French fries in beef tallow at McDonald's back in up till the 1990s. And then they had this, oh no, consumers are concerned about too much fat in beef tallow. And of course, this was based on information that made you believe that if you eat cholesterol, you're going to get lots of cholesterol in your system. Like your cholesterol is going to go up. And then actually that's been already shown to not be true in most cases. Actually, I can show you. I just looked it up on Google AI. Google, hey, if you eat cholesterol, does it mean your cholesterol will go up? No, generally eating foods high in dietary cholesterol won't significantly raise your blood cholesterol levels. Of course, back in the 90s, they didn't know this. So like, oh no, let's remove the beef tallow from McDonald's French fries because they were using that to fry the fries. And oh no, let's change it with seed oils, which you should go watch how they create seed oils and you'll understand. They have to literally wear a suit, you know, like a mask and everything while they're making it. I wonder why. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of funny. So we replace something good with something worse. And then like they were afraid they were going to gain weight. And then they put something worse and it made you gain weight because your body gets inflamed, inflammation, and then you can't lose weight. It's kind of ridiculous, but actually that's what happened. So of course, I think RFK has already recently gotten one fast food chain to change their fryers to using beef tallow again. But here he is talking about, like I just showed you the one about him talking about the SNAP program. Here we have him talking about sugar, and I think he's referring more so to high fructose corn syrup because he might be referring to sugar, but honestly, all the highly processed foods I've seen are basically high fructose corn syrup. So this is probably more so what he's probably talking about.
It's poison, and it feeds tumors. It destroys your brain. It destroys all of your organs, and we are programmed to eat it every.
He's talking about sugar.
Minute of the day, from advertising to it's in everything that we eat. Of course, sugar.
So he's talking about sugar there. That was on Dr. Phil, and it's kind of interesting because it is in everything. Well, not, I wouldn't say he should be a little bit more, like he says sugar, but like you got aspartame, sucralose, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, and all the derivatives. There's like a ton of other derivatives underneath that. I can't remember. I'm thinking of one off the top of my head. I can't remember the word, but there's a lot of other ones where they make things from sugar and they put it in the product, and it's listed, but a lot of people don't even know it's sugar. So there's like a lot of stuff. There's a ton of things like that. And obviously it's in a lot of foods. Now, here we go. Of course, he talks about here Pharma. Check this out. Let's see if we can get it on the screen, right?
Are you against direct-to-consumer advertising of pharmas to consumer?
I think that's a huge mistake.
Yeah, so he gets into that. He also talks about here how a number of people are getting royalties that, let me just let him play it. Check this out.
Drugs that they approve. Is that true?
Yes, there's a couple things happening. For example, the Moderna vaccine. NIH owns half of that vaccine, 50%. So the billions of dollars that vaccine makes, half of that goes to NIH, the agency, but there's also individuals, at least 4 and maybe 6 individuals who work for NIH who are high-level deputies under Anthony Fauci who get to collect $150,000 a year forever. Not
forever? $150,000 a year forever? That sounds pretty good. Of course, that ain't going to bias you in any way, shape, or form. I mean, why would money bias you, right? Oh, that's right. That's how you buy people off. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that before. That's kind of weird. But of course, these guys are scientists, and you should trust it. You know, the science, because they wouldn't put money before your health, would they? Gee, I don't know. That's kind of a hard question there. Yeah, so we had to deal with that for years, didn't we? Check out this clip here.
And we now have the emails between him and this group and Mark Zuckerberg. And
by the way, he's talking about how the previous, administration, talking president, wanted to make him no longer be able to speak on these things. And he was one of the first people that he went, of course, after. And he's talking about how Mark Zuckerberg, he's talking about these emails that were revealed in discovery in courts when he, RFK, sued them.
And other people at Twitter, et cetera, which Elon, made public. And thank God for him. And I don't think we'd have free speech in this country if it wasn't for Elon Musk.
So this is what he's saying. He's talking about how they were purposely doing this back then, and they were doing this before then. They were doing this even like back in 2017, 18. I've been seeing it since 2017, 18. I think it was about 2018 when it all started. Well, no, 2017 maybe. That's when it all really started. It's been 8 years of it so far. Kind of amazing, actually. Here, of course, on this website and others. And now we have this new thing that RFK came out with. This is the one that's really going viral, where he says that the former, of course, administration, via this organization right here, were collaborating with these type of guys. Those, we're not talking car traffic here, okay? See what I'm getting at? With those, of course, that are young. He said that they knew about it. I was kind of wondering about this. It just seemed kind of weird on day one, like, oh, we're trying to stop things from going across, but then they're letting everyone come across, right? That's kind of weird. He says that they were collaborating in assisting or helping in some way, shape, or form. Again, those are his words, not mine, but it is kind of interesting that he said this. And he said that at our southern, of course, border is sort of the largest corridors on earth for this to happen. This is what he said in this meeting. So, I mean, how else can you describe all this stuff? Corruption, you know, we have fraud, we have just, I don't know. I mean, evil, like all of this stuff added up. What does it add up to? Obviously not good. So you got all those stories that have come out. Now, our president is trying to bring jobs back to, of course, America. And you've seen how the economy has been for the last few years. Essentially, your wages are going down and inflation's going up. That's literally what's happening. That's what the charts show. The charts show everyone's wages are literally going down, and it shows inflation's been going up. Of course, recently, ever since our president got in, our new one, inflation's down again. And actually, it's even reversed in the case of fast food. Ironically, of course, fast food's not probably the best for you, but there's some good options out there if you know what to look for. You know what I mean? But like, you have to be pretty careful. The whole point, though, is you can see that this economy is terrible, and our president's trying to right the ship, trying to turn around the Titanic here before it hits the iceberg. And of course, as usual, it's almost like there's something trying to stop him. Something that doesn't want this to go forward. They want you to be poorer and poorer and eventually have nothing, it seems like. The only people that seem to have money are Jeff Bezos. And of course, Katy Perry, which of course, Katy Perry's now apparently not doing so well. I'm going to do a video on that probably next. Oh, that's going to be a good one. Some are saying that when she went up into space in the Blue Origin rocket, some alien changed places with her. Now she's some alien creature instead of her that has been representing her ever since she got back to Earth. I don't know if it's true or not, but we'll get into that in the next video. Obviously, Six Flags America set for closure. I wonder why. Everyone's broke. They can't go on vacation. We need some actual real jobs here other than working at a store or McDonald's, right? We need actual real jobs, like creating cars or whatever it might be. Instead of it being sent over to another country. And a lot of people don't understand this, but once these tariffs are all even playing field, where China has low tariffs on us, we can sell into their country to 1 billion people. Even in India is caught on track and got on board with us. They've raised tariffs against China. India's raised tariffs against China. America's raised tariffs against China. And there's actually another major country, I can't remember which one. All of them raising tariffs to force China to allow people to sell into their country. So far, all it's been is they sell to us. We don't ever sell to them. So imagine if we could sell all of our stuff. Imagine we could make anything here. Make TVs, chairs, whatever, cars. We could sell GM cars into China, sell 3 times as many cars. When you sell more cars, the price of the car goes down. The car price could be 75% the price it currently is in like 2 years, if this happens. Meaning cars will actually lower in price instead of going up. Inflation will go down. Your wages will go back up. Now, a lot of people don't understand this. That's why I've been explaining it of recent. There's so many channels that just simply are clueless. You got investors pretending like they understand this. They don't. They may know how to invest in the stock market, but they're clueless about manufacturing. They're clueless about tariffs. They're clueless about this entire thing because they're not marketers. They're not businessmen. They don't know what they're talking about. You have here, of course, them always getting concerned about, oh no, right now we can't import stuff. And of course, they're actually taking that somewhere and running with it. I talked about that in the last video. I'll talk about it in a second here. But the fact is, this is temporary. If you can, I gave the analogy in the last video about Walmart. If you were a Walmart customer and you get kicked out, it's not that big of a deal. You can go to a different Walmart. You can go to Kroger. You can go to whatever other place you want to go to. But if you're a Walmart employee and you lose your job, that's kind of a big deal, right? Like you're making all your money from Walmart. You lost your job. Now you have no job. That's what the situation is. We're like essentially the customer in Walmart getting kicked out, and China is the employee getting fired. Which one's worse? They're in a worse situation. They need us, period. They need India, period. I mean, that's probably over 70% of their market right there. They're like done. They have no job. So they have to give in, whether or not they pretend like they're not going to. It doesn't matter. They will. So once they give in, all this stuff will start happening. That's the whole point at any rate. So of course we had all these power, outages in a number of places in America of recent. Also over in Europe, they had a massive power outage. I think it was, or power failure, a few days ago at this point. Spain, Portugal, Italy. And like I said, you're going to definitely want to get this if you haven't already. Food supply, 3 months worth, $4.97, lowest price in 5 years. Go check it out. Link is in the description. This book here, The Lost Ways, how you can live without electricity. You're going to definitely need that before the electricity goes out. Get the printed version, $37. At any rate, so what I think is going on, we saw over in Britain some hacking going on at a supermarket. You remember all these stories about, oh no, empty shelves, right? You better want to know, right? That whole thing. So of course they got to make it, they got to bolster that. Got to bolster it. So here we have in Britain, oh no, some hacking. So then everybody starts panic, of course, buying and going into the store and buying everything in Britain. Not actually that bad, actually. It's sort of exaggerated, but there's some... I saw Neil McCord Ward talking about this. He literally went into one of the supermarkets. He's like, oh, some things are gone, not much. But of course, they run with the story. Oh, no, there's nothing in the stores. The tariffs. Right? So that's what they're going to do. They're going to go with that. And that's what they're trying to do right now. Then you got Walmart is now trying to, in some areas, require Walmart Plus subscription to use self-checkout. And this is due to theft in certain areas. So if you're in a city where there's a lot of theft in that whatever store you go to, you might actually have to have a subscription. I think that costs $100 a year just to use a self-checkout, which probably sucks. But this is, of course, because people are doing this clever trick where they, they'll take like a Kool-Aid pack and they'll take like something really expensive and they'll put the Kool-Aid pack underneath it and scan. So it's only 40 cents instead of $50 or $20. And that's the new scam that they're doing, which of course they're getting in trouble for. At any rate, I think you get the idea. Here's an example right here. You can see it right on this. 42 cents 50 times, the guy fills his entire back of his truck with the goods. Where is that at? Let me show you that. Yeah, here it is. This guy's like, I really like Walmart. I was able to fill my whole car for $20. Yeah. So that's why they now have that at any rate. So that's my video. I kind of wonder what some of you guys think. Also, I should mention about China as well. China, mysteriously, some of their cities are emptying out. I've talked about that numerous times here on the channel. You can see here a picture of it. Big cities, Shanghai, Beijing. What's going on? It's kind of weird, the timing too. These videos are over a month old too. Some are a couple months old. Around the time that their cities start mysteriously, of course, emptying out is when we decide to bring jobs back here. I thought that was a weird coincidence, but that's my video. I'm kind of wondering what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.